She called me from another man's home. I'm leaving you. I've sold the company. I'm starting a new life with him, she said. Then she laughed. It wasn't awkward or forced. It was confident, almost celebratory, like she'd just pulled off a masterstroke and was basking in her own brilliance. But what she didn't realize was that by the time she'd finalized her little scheme, the only thing she legally owned was the brand name. Everything of real value? I'd already secured it. If you believe in calculated composure, in patience, in reclaiming your power without screaming or spiraling, hit subscribe. These are stories of people who don't explode. They plan. My name is Andrew Burke. I'm 44. And the night my marriage collapsed, I didn't raise my voice. I didn't shed a tear. I poured a glass of whiskey, stepped to the edge of Mark's driveway, and simply listened. The call came in just after 9. Her voice, steady, unapologetic. I'm divorcing you, she said casually. I sold the company. I'm with Colin now. We're starting over. Then came the laugh, the part one remember most. That self-satisfied laugh like she'd just scored a big win in a game I didn't even know we were playing. I didn't argue. I simply replied, "Good for you, Maya." Then I hung up, finished my drink, and sat there quietly while the neighbors clinked their beer bottles in the garage behind me. They didn't hear what was said, but I think they could sense the shift in the air. When I finally stepped inside later that night, Maya was already home. Still wearing the exact same outfit she'd left in 4 days ago for what was supposed to be a strategic brand retreat. Black from head to toe, hair tied neatly back. She didn't carry guilt, just arrogance. "Beat you home," she said smugly. "Thought we should talk in person." But then her eyes moved to the wall where our patents once hung. The office safe was missing. Her smirk faded ever so slightly. "Where's everything?" she asked, trying to sound irritated, not alarmed. I shrugged. "Moved it." "Moved it where?" She stepped closer. That's when I saw it, a flash of panic in her eyes. "Maya," I said calmly, "you just sold a company that no longer exists." Let me explain. Back in 2008, we co-founded Monoline. I had the idea. She had the charm and a polished LinkedIn profile. While I coded and developed our logistics optimization tech, she networked. She was the public face, shaking hands, hosting events, charming investors. I was behind the curtain, designing the very algorithm that made us wealthy. She liked to tease that I spoke more Python than English. I didn't mind. I was content letting her handle the glitz while I took care of the substance. She controlled the narrative. I controlled the product. By year 5, we had it all. A penthouse downtown, a lake house for weekends, and a beautiful daughter. People saw us as the dream team. And for a while, maybe we were. Until I became invisible. Not as a husband, but as an audience. The change was subtle at first. Business trips where I wasn't invited. Partnerships she couldn't quite explain. Passwords mysteriously reset. Phone calls behind locked doors. I'm not naive. I just didn't want to believe it. But I'm a systems guy. So, I started following the breadcrumbs. Deleted messages. Bank permissions quietly altered. Client files transferred overnight without my approval. She wasn't just leaving. She was planning to bleed me dry on the way out. What she didn't know is that I'd already seen the signs, and I was steps ahead. 3 years earlier, I quietly launched a shell company, Verto Dynamics. On paper, it was a third-party data hosting firm. In reality, it was Monoline's evolution, and I alone controlled it. I began routing Monoline's key contracts through Verto, shifted our intellectual property to a new cloud environment, rolled out new service-level agreements as part of a platform upgrade. She never looked at the fine print, too busy being celebrated at conferences. I rebuilt the codebase from scratch, then phased out the original infrastructure, the only version she had access to. So when she secretly began pitching monoline to potential buyers, she was selling a hollow shell. No IP, no processing power, no clients, just a dead brand name and a slick logo. The sale happened anyway. Colin, a venture capitalist with slicked back hair and motivational quotes on his Instagram, cut her a check for $38,000. She was ecstatic. I sent him a cease and desist. 2 days later, my phone rang. She told me you weren't involved anymore, he growled. I forwarded him all the documentation, updated intellectual property filings, timestamps from GitHub commits, active client contracts, none of which bore Monoline's name anymore. He didn't say another word, just hung up. 3 weeks later, his LinkedIn said he was now a wellness tech consultant. Maya didn't do much better. Once the truth hit, she scrambled. Tried tapping into our joint business accounts. Frozen. Her name? Removed. The apartment? Sold. She attempted to refinance the lake house using my credentials. My lawyer shut it down in less than an hour. Then she made a final desperate move, accessing our daughter's trust. But she didn't realize it required dual parent authorization and biometric ID. Dead end. Last resort. Showed up at my new house. Uninvited. She looked around, confused, like she didn't recognize the life I had built without her. I miss her, she said, meaning our daughter. You had her, I replied. But you chose something else. These days, I walk my daughter to school every morning, pack her lunch, teach her to read every contract before she signs a single line. She asks about her mom sometimes. I just tell her, she's figuring things out. And I genuinely hope that's true. Because I'm done being angry. I don't need to settle a score. I don't need revenge. I already won. I didn't argue. I didn't plead. I didn't fight. I let the woman who once thought I was too quiet finally hear what silence really meant. It meant I was already gone. She laughed when she left. She thought she'd taken it all. But by then, everything worth keeping had already moved, quietly, carefully, out of her reach. So if someone betrays you and expects you to fall apart, don't scream. Don't beg. Just move in silence. And when they laugh, make sure the joke's on them.